This is yet another edition of This Week in Agriculture. A very good evening to you and welcome to this week's edition, a presentation of the Communications Unit, Ministry of Agriculture. I'm your producer and host, Christopher Holder. On this week's presentation, we bring you an analysis of the results as reported by our farmers across the country as it relates to the newest variety, the GRDB15, which, according to those reports, are realizing all the hype and the yields that were promised. Of course, there are instances in which some farmers have reported some problems, and of course we asked the folks at the GRDB's research station at Burma to explain what went wrong with those few instances that farmers have reported in which there were unfilled grains and some other problems that they encountered. But for the most part, across the country, we visited all the rice growing regions of Guyana and spoken with the farmers there, many of whom have planted this variety for the first time and are reporting excellent results. They're all going to be planting en masse the GRDB15 for the next crop, which will basically represent the first crop of 2019. So we'll be hearing all about the reports about GRDB's newest super variety of rice, the GRDB15, harvest for which is halfway done, 5,000 acres cultivated across the country, and well, we'll hear more after this. The Guyana Rice Development Board is reminding all farmers that an integrated pest management program is the best way to ensure a successful, high-yielding crop. Integrated Pest Management, or IPM, is the use of several compatible control strategies to suppress a pest. IPM is for the management of all insect pests and snails or even weeds, whether it's early season, mid-season, or late season. This program begins at land preparation and involves the following key steps. After proper tillage, leave land exposed to sun for a few days to allow for pests in the soil to be exposed to natural predators, as well as to allow for degradation of any debris there. Proper land leveling should also be ensured. Farmers should adopt uniform times of sowing. Sowing en bloc during the April, May, and November, December periods of the year. All farmers should treat their seed before sowing, providing insect pest protection to the young rice plants for up to 30 days. Ensure proper water management for the first 40 days of the crop. Ensure effective monitoring of the crop from the vegetative stage for the presence of paddy bugs or other pests. This will aid the farmer in determining the right time to apply the appropriate insecticide to kill the paddy bugs. A message from the Guyana Rice Development Board, Ministry of Agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, invites you to World Food Day Exhibition and Fair 2018 under the theme Working for Zero Hunger, set for Tuesday, October 16, 2018 at Mainstay Wayaka in Region 2. Delivering the feature address will be President David Granger. Also making remarks will be Agriculture Minister Noel Holder. The event will showcase the work of the various agencies of the Ministry of Agriculture, partner organizations like the FAO, CARDI, and ICA, local manufacturers, agro-processors, etc. World Food Day 2018, a day for the entire family. Don't you miss it.
Climate change is now a real issue for Guyana's agricultural landscape. The Hydrometeorological Services Agromet Unit is urging all farmers to be aware of the weather factor and its impacts when planning their agricultural activities. The unit is further urging farmers to make use of the products tailored to their needs that are now available on the Hydromet website at hydromet.gov.gy. Click on the Farmers and Drought Monitoring Bulletins. These products will allow you to access various information such as seasonal outlooks and agricultural advisories. A message from the Hydromet Service, Ministry of Agriculture.
Earlier this year, the Guyana Rice Development Board officially launched its long-anticipated new high-yielding variety, the GRDB15. Farmers were promised yields of up to 55 bags of paddy per acre This was after some 2 years of field trials in which local farmers were contracted to grow the variety in their fields. Farmers across the country were excited at the prospects this new variety promised and quickly snapped up all the seed paddy for this variety for the second crop of 2018. A total of 5,000 acres of this new variety was sown in all the rice-growing areas of Guyana. A breakdown of this figure shows that in Region 6, 514 acres were sown. In Region 5, 977 acres. Region 4, 128. Region 3, 394 acres. And Region 2, 481 acres. With more than 60% of harvesting of the second crop completed and more than half of the 5,000 acres of the GRDB15 already harvested, I took my cameras into the field for a chat with our farmers about their experiences, some for the first time using this new variety. My question to them: has your yields lived up to expectation? My first stop, Blackbush Polder. Mr. Jamir Hassan Ali of Les Beholden South says he cultivated a total of 7.5 acres of GRDB15 and is excited at his yield of 43 bags per acre.
I planted 7.5 acres and I got about a 310 bag, and the yield was good for me. And with most of the rice we plant does fall. This one with the heavy rainfall just about a week before you cut, and you show no sign of falling down. So I feel is a good rice to plant.
Well, this farmer said he planted the crop strictly for sale as seed paddy, but took a sample to the mill for it to be graded.
I plant the paddy really to give out to the farmer to let them get it variety of paddy to plant, and I carry some at the mill to see what the quality about, and I get good results about the quality. You never know disease or no bad. You never know bad thing in it, and this crop I decided to plant about 3/4 of my crop with the 15. Because I get good return with it.
According to Mr. Hassan Ali, his entire cultivation amounts to approximately 114 acres, and his average yield from the GRDB10 was 35 bags per acre. Still in Les Beholden, but across at Mr. Parmanand Singh Wazir, his harvest of his 30 acres of GRDB15 yielded him 56 bags per acre. This is the second time round with this new variety for him, having been among those farmers from around the country contracted by the GRDB to grow the variety commercially. Mr. Wazir described the GRDB15 as the best paddy released thus far from the research station, pointing to the fact that it didn't fall and was higher in yield than any of the other varieties he planted in the past. Samuel Ledra, another farmer of Maibikuri North, Blackbush Polder, is a first-timer for this new variety.
This crop I ventured out into the 15, which they did last crop on trial, and the 15 that I did, I saw it worthwhile because the production that I got from it is about like 58 bags per acre, because I just do 2 acre. 2 bags that I broadcast, and the result that I got from it was very good. So I think is promising and good production from it. But I think the important thing is management of it is very important. We got to look at the 2 crops that we're doing with the application of your fertilizer, because the autumn crop you tend to have more very intense weather, like a lot of heat, so you have to watch like your nitrogen application of it, which I think most that the 625 is more applicable to the weather condition. The spring crop, maybe you can use a little more nitrogen, but I think the 625 is more appropriate because it's more handy. Because what I did, I see most of the green fill. I did not really have much empty green that I had there in the crop. So I think all in all, the 15 look very promising, and the production of it is very good. So I'll encourage farmers to venture into that. But the management is very important.
Across in Region 5, the result has been the same, with farmers all reporting significantly more yield per acre for the GRDB15. Mr. Bridger that ran the race is considered the major player in the region, growing more than 1,000 acres of rice.
We reap one plot so far, and it worked out to about 42 bags seed. And the first crop, when we reap it, we get about 53 bags per acre. The second crop, which is this crop now, we get around like 42 bags. We had a lot of rainfall this year. We get rain from since March month, so I think that was one of the reasons why the yield wasn't so high this year.
This veteran farmer says he is optimistic that this is only the beginning for this variety. It will continue to show increasing yields in time to come.
This variety, by couple of crops from now, you would see it would kind of improve. Because when GRDB10 came out first, we did not get the kind of yield that we're getting now from it. The variety tends to adapt as we progress. As I said before, it's too early to pronounce on it. You know, if you check the panicles on it, they have the grains per panicle is quite high. If you use a low seed rate, you would get probably a better yield. It's ideal to probably sow with aircraft, this variety, you know, because by hand sometimes some areas are thin and some are thick. So if you sow by aircraft, you would get probably a better yield, a uniform ripening, and all in all, you're going to be better for you.
Across at Little Bayabu, Mahaika River, Mr. Shamsundar Ramroop said he is satisfied with his yield despite the challenges posed to his area by the weather, which changed from very wet to very hot during the important stages of the crop.
What I find with the GRDB15 is that the variety is doing well in this particular area because I have done it for 3 seasons. I have done it on the first when it released from the board, and I come off with 44 bags per acre. And the second season, it's work off around the same amount. The second season we come off with a little more, 53 bags per acre. And this crop here, what I find is work out like about 35. And the reason why I have 35 bags per acre this crop, based on the weather condition. We got a very bad weather condition in terms when the rice was flowering, and the heat was too much. It's kind of too hot for the flowering season.
In Region 3, I met with Mr. Gayadin of La Jalousie, West Coast Demerara. He reported satisfaction at his yield of 45 to 50 bags per acre.
And I'm planting for 4.5 acre rice. But I think the GRDB15 what I got is very good for me. I don't know for the other body. And you get good result from the paddy.
Tell me about your experiences in.
My experience, well, you had paddy like the 10 used to make it. What this GRB, the 15, like the better than the 10 now.
Tell me about your yield.
Yield, again 45 to 50 bags a acre with the 15.
Across the river in Region 2, Mr. Chuli said his yield has also been very good.
Well, we just normally plant the 10, and this crop for the first crop I plant the 15. And we find the 15 a bear more than the 10 because we plant 6 acre, we get, let me say, about 50 bag a acre. to average.
We used to get with the 10.
And with 10 we just get like 35, 40. So we find a lot of difference.
The farmer also spoke of some of the characteristics of the variety.
The 15 at least got more grainy, more solid, and we find a lot of difference. And we throw less paddy per acre. The 10 we throw like bag and a half, and the 50 we throw direct a bag a acre. So we find a lot of difference, more the planting and we get better yield.
Further down the coast, we met with Mr. Lyndon Marks of Queenstown Village, Essequibo, who cultivated a total of 7.5 acres in different areas, but says his yield was consistently higher than other varieties he cultivates.
Within the 10 and the 15, you see a difference because wonderful is like the 2.5 acres that I cultivate with the 10, I had yield 113 bags, and with the 15, I've gotten 150 bags. So we have a difference there about 32 bags extra with the 15. And with the 15, for this crop that the rain had fall, we had run the paddy over 130 days for seed paddy, and it really stand up. It really stand up. Better than the 10. The 10 I had to take it into the mill because it started growing on the tree. So with that, I think that the 15 is one of the best way to go.
In Anna Regina, we met with 2 farmers, both of whom had only good things to report about this newest variety from the research arm of the GRDB.
My name is Terry. I'm from Anna Regina, doing rice cultivation, approximately 45 acres of land. And this crop I have planted GRDB15, approximately 13 acres. The yield was very good in terms of bag, about 42 bags per acre. Same normal practice, the GRDB with the GRDB, the help of them, same normal practice with the seed rate, 120 pounds per acre. The paddy has shown very promising, and for this crop there's a lot of damage and bugs, which in terms of my view, the GRDB15 in my field and my processing were not so much of damage. At least the highest damage that I get from the GRDB15 was 5%. And compared to the other varieties, I get 9% damage.
Talk about your yield per acre.
Yeah, the yield is about 40 bags per acre, the GRDB15, comparing with the 10 and the 22, which is about 35 bags per acre.
Going forward, what are your plans in regards to variety?
The variety GRDB15 is a promising variety, and I see that it's going to be a very high yielding variety, and also it's going to be just like the 10 or better than the 10, because a lot of farmers right now are looking for the GRDB15, because when you look at the thrush or the ball, you want to call it, it has more grains upon it, and there are more filling grains upon it compared with the other varieties that we have around right now.
My name is Ibrahim Baksh from Anna Regina, an old rice farmer. All the time grow rice, nothing more, just a few animals. Concerning the new variety, the 15 which was introduced last crop, or for this crop we have just reaped, 2018 autumn crop. I grew it for the first time, and it's very good. Simple for growth, just like any other paddy. Same fertilizing and everything. And what is good with it is that all the panicle, the ball end up. And when you spray, it's easy to catch the bug. And when it comes to yield, I think it's the highest yield I ever reaped from paddy. I did reap high yield from the number 14 when that came out, but number 15 beat up. You get more.
How much you get?
Plenty. Huh?
Tell me about the yield per acre.
The yield per acre was 48 bags. I didn't want to say it. Yes, 48 bags per acre, and that's very good. I never reached so much in land. It's simple, just like the 14 or the 12, the new varieties came out, right? And for me, this coming crop, that will be the most I plant because I reserve them as seed. And a lot of farmers is asking for this seed at this stage, and they're right. The only thing that maybe in future, anytime a paddy, this is our experience, anytime a paddy yield plenty, the millers will find some fault with that paddy to give us something or the other cause great feedback. Now when 22 came out, it was very nice. Then they said, oh, you're breaking up plenty, you can't make the rice. Some people kind of broke up at this stage. Now they want it back. The 10 came out, I get good deal for 10 this crop too, you know. I get 39 bags per acre and 10 varieties. Now they got something I call a black tip. Finding some fault so that they can drop your price.
Dr. Mahendra Prasad is the plant breeder and the scientist behind the development and release of this latest variety. Commenting on the feedback from farmers across the country on the yields they have enjoyed from the variety this crop, said that while the good performance was anticipated, the research station also anticipated many of the isolated incidences of inhibited performance experienced by a few farmers.
Only recently we have released GRDB15. It is the first season, now the harvest is in progress. Farmers have grown countrywide. The feedback from farmers are very positive. In fact, those farmers we have tested in the first crop of 2018, over 30 farmers. And we have gone back in the second crop to take data on those same fields, in those same plots for the same varieties, along with the check, to assess the consistency of the performance of GRDB15. And I must say it's very, very impressive, and it has held up to its promise of high yielding ability, lots of grains per panicle, good tolerance to lodging, and excellent milling qualities. We have seen across the country, these are the traits that we have seen being highlighted by farmers. The feedback from the farmers, I have said, the farmers that we have worked with and we continue to work with from the on-farm trials and have gone on into the second crop 2018, we have excellent yield and grain filling and everything. However, there are a few farmers that have reported a high level, 10 to 15% unfilled grain. This could possibly, could happen in the case where, if I should retract back, this variety is engineered in such a way to develop, to produce a lot of grains. And if we don't, and we have said that from the very, very start, if we don't have a good management program in terms of the nutrition and the entire crop, you could see the grains are not being partially filled, unfilled. So you can definitely, those farmers have experienced, some of those farmers have experienced such a thing. In this case, we'll have to ensure that contact your closest extension officer, contact our research station. We have a brochure. We have released the variety with a brochure with the full management practice. We'll have to follow the nutrition program very, very closely and ensure that the grains are filled, so you could up your yields to a very over 40, close to 50 bags per acre. So as from where we stand, or from where we operate, we are not saying that you cannot have any variety. If the nutrition is not up to mark, you'll definitely have some level of unfilled grain. It may be higher in GRDB15, but the grain number of grains per panicle is generally higher as compared to other varieties. You have 150 to 200, up to 250 grains. And if the plant is definitely able to give you the grains and you are not able to give it proper nutrition to fill, we definitely have some work to do there. So that is something that we have to look at and work closer with the farmers in the next season.
Dr. Prasad said that even though the variety has been released, it is still under active observation and development.
Even though we have released GRDB15, work is still ongoing. We have said at the time of release that the variety can withstand delayed harvesting. And this is one of the one of our experiment plots that you can see here. We have tested this on have over 2 weeks delayed harvest, and the plot still stand very well. It showed a good stem strength and tolerance to lodging, and also the milling and cooking that will be tested also. The norm is that a variety at the time of harvest, when it reaches opportune date of harvest, and the moisture dries off from the stem, a normal variety would start lodge. This variety have the stem strength to stay intact for another 2 weeks. Also, we have done the milling characters, and we have seen that the milling, we have not lose anything significant in terms of milling yield over the two weeks period. So this variety definitely can withstand at about 10-14 days delayed harvesting, and without losing any quality traits or even quantitative trait in terms of the yield.
The plant breeder also sought to address some of the concerns raised by farmers in relation to perceived uneven ripening of grains and disease.
Other issues that are not issues per se, we have a complaint here and there, and it's not limited to GRDB15 alone. The question of uneven ripening. If varieties are mixed together, and you could have uneven ripening. But GRDB15 is not one of the variety that gives us uneven ripening. Within around a 10 days period, you'll find that the plants flower, complete flowering, from starting to complete flowering, and that is an indicator of uneven ripening. If you have variety that goes beyond 10-15 days of flowering, then you will have uneven ripening. That is, if the plant is continuously producing tillers. As it continues to produce tillers, those tillers, the later tillers would mature later, and you will have uneven ripening. But that is not an issue for GRDB15. However, if the seed is not a very pure quality of any variety, you could have the difference in duration, you have uneven ripening. So we have to look out for that, and farmers should be using high quality seed we have in stock at the resource station, and in many farmers' field also we have good quality GRDB15 for production in the first crop 2019. In terms of disease, we have not we have seen few cases of brown spot, as is the case with any other variety, and we have recommended, the brochure will tell you the production practice, 2 sprays with fungicide, and it's compatible with the paddy bug application. So you have seen this field is very, very clean. So once you apply the prescribed recommendation, you're not going to have any issues. A single farmer had identified that he have seen something curry powder on the grain. It's like what we call a false mud, and it's on not GRDB15 itself or localized that. Anytime a variety or production is on a higher level, the grain, sometimes a few grains would got some spores attacked, and it's yellow in color and it's dusty, but it's not anything of significance in Guyana, and it's nothing that is not gonna any level of loss to the crop. It gives, in fact, quite ironically, it gives an indication that the crop has been in for a good harvest.
The Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, invites you to World Food Day Exhibition and Fair 2018 under the theme Working for Zero Hunger, set for Tuesday, October 16, 2018 at Mainstay Wayaka in Region 2. Delivering the feature address will be President David Granger. Also making remarks will be Agriculture Minister Noel Holder. The event will showcase the work of the various agencies of the Ministry of Agriculture, partner organizations like the FAO, CARDI, and ICA, local manufacturers, agro-processors, etc. World Food Day 2018, a day for the entire family. Don't you miss it.
Climate change is now a real issue for Guyana's agricultural landscape. The Hydrometeorological Services Agromet Unit is urging all farmers to be aware of the weather factor and its impacts when planning their agricultural activities. The unit is further urging farmers to make use of the products tailored to their needs that are now available on the Hydromet website at hydromet.gov.gy. Click on the Farmers and Drought Monitoring Bulletins. These products will allow you to access various information such as seasonal outlooks and agricultural advisories. A message from the Hydromet Service, Ministry of Agriculture.
Well, that's all the time we have in this week's edition of This Week in Agriculture, a presentation of the Communications Unit, Ministry of Agriculture. This Week in Agriculture is produced for television by Matrix Video Productions and Advertising, based in East Berbice. I'm your producer and host, Christopher Holder. Until next time then, be good to yourselves and to each other.